The last 3 people to coach at LSU have national title rings and have proven if you can lock down the state of Louisiana, you can accomplish anything. To many, the LSU job is viewed as the best coaching job with a job opening this cycle and is believed to have their choice of candidates. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg writes, a combination of location, access to recruits, resources, and high-level success that is matched by few programs around the sport. LSU's team isn't always in the top 5, but always has the capabilities to get there quickly. LSU never struggles to attract talent or produce NFL draft picks. Tiger Stadium offers one of the best home field advantages in the sport, and LSU has strong support for facilities and staff. Athletic Director Scott Woodward is a football-focused administrator with deep roots at the school and within the state. Unlike other top SEC programs, LSU is the only Power 5 program in its state and the preferred destination for almost all of the top in-state recruits. But who should LSU hire? First, we need to go through some of the guys that were originally thought to be possible candidates for the job, but for one reason or another, they are no longer. The person I want to talk about is Luke Fickell. From what I have found and heard, is if Cincinnati makes the playoffs, Fickell will be eliminated from most job openings because schools don't want to have to wait until January. He has also never coached outside the state of Ohio. Mel Tucker was originally thought to be a frontrunner for this job, but has since agreed to a 10-year contract extension with Michigan State, along with James Franklin agreeing to a 10-year contract extension with Penn State. Before we get into the other candidates, what are some of the drawbacks of the LSU job? There are more politics to navigate at LSU due to the school being the sporting hub of the state and the region. Both Les Miles and Ed Odron were fired, with Odron being fired 2 years after going 15-0 and winning the national championship. Rittenberg writes, although the state's recruiting pool is an advantage, coaches unfamiliar with Louisiana might struggle to navigate the high school scene and the expectations of LSU. The university's recent Title IX scandals could turn off some candidates about the administration. So, now let's get into the best candidates. Scott Woodward is trying to be a big game hunter and trying to land a big name, with his main focus being on Jimbo Fisher and Lincoln Riley. It doesn't look like either plan to leave their current situations, with Fisher being at Texas A&M and Riley at Oklahoma, but come Sunday we will know a lot more, especially if Oklahoma loses to Oklahoma State tomorrow. Neither coach would then be coaching in the conference championship game as well. Why would Jimbo Fisher leave A&M? At first glance, there's no reason to leave, but the chances of winning a national title is higher in Baton Rouge compared to College Station. Les Miles and Ed Odron weren't necessarily elite head coaches, but they still managed to win a national championship at LSU. Fisher loves Baton Rouge as well. He even talked about his love for Baton Rouge the day he was hired at Texas A&M. And then there's the money. LSU will probably give him a blank check. For Riley, the reason for him taking the LSU job would be because of money, a rumored $96 million over 8 years, and the highest chance of winning a national title. But if Woodward can't land either of those big fish, who may he go after? Well, one industry source told ESPN, once Scott finally gives up on Jimbo, he doesn't have many obvious choices. If you look at Matt Campbell, can you hire Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss? Billy Napier is probably your basement. Before I get into the top 3 choices, I want to ask you, you, who you think will be the next LSU head coach. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the video do better in the algorithm. Now, let's talk about possible head coaches. As of 3 days ago, LSU has narrowed it down to 3 candidates: Dave Aranda, Billy Napier, and Matt Campbell. So let's start off with my favorite coaching choice in the carousel, Dave Aranda. Aranda is only 45 and has quickly turned around the Baylor program, who may have a chance to make it to the Big 12 championship game with an Oklahoma loss. Baylor was 2-7 in Aranda's first season in 2020, but he inherited a winning program. In the 2019 season, the Bears were 11-3 with a Sugar Bowl berth under coach Matt Rhule, who left to coach the Carolina Panthers in the NFL. Baylor was 7-6 in 2018. Aranda was a very successful defensive coordinator at LSU from 2016 to 2019 and left for Baylor after the Tigers won the national championship in 2020. As a coordinator at Wisconsin from 2013 to 2015, Aranda consistently had a highly ranked defense. Aranda does not bring any baggage and is extremely professional. He won't win you any press conferences, but he will win you games. Woodward also likes Aranda. The issue many believe Aranda does not want to leave Baylor after 2 seasons, and according to On3 college football insider Matt Zenitz, Baylor's Dave Aranda, a California native, continues to be a popular name among industry sources in regards to the USC opening. Aranda is in his 2nd season as the Bears coach. He has led Baylor to a 9-2 record and the number 8 rank in this week's college football playoff rankings, just a year after the Bears finished 2-7. Although Aranda has ties to LSU and was a defensive coordinator for the Tigers in 2019, sources don't expect him to end up at LSU. The next person I want to talk about is Louisiana's head coach Billy Napier. Napier spoke on the rumors Monday saying, "I just don't know if it's right to be talking about all these things publicly. But, I mean, the reality is, outside the first year, every year that I've been here, you get contacted about. Other schools and their interest in those types of things. I think the big thing is it's part of the profession. It's part about being a part of a team that had some success, and certainly I'm part of the team." Napier has had a lot of success at Louisiana and has connections with the high school coaches already. Napier has turned down multiple head coaching positions in the past, looking for the right situation, and this may be as close to perfect as he can get. He also won't need to move very far. The issue with Napier is he may not be a big enough name for Woodward, and rumors are swirling that Florida is making a push for him. Senior Bowl director Jim Nagy tweeted this week saying if LSU lets Florida come into Louisiana and grab Billy Napier without making a serious push for him, it could end up being a serious miscalculation. Napier is ready for a big job, and he has had a great relationship with high school coaches in the state. Napier adopted a Louisiana program that had 3 straight losing seasons, and since has found a lot of success, going 7-7 his first season, 11-3 his second season, and 10-1 last year. Currently, the Cajuns are 10-1 and 7-0 in the Sun Belt this year. If Napier is Woodward's top choice, he can't let Florida beat them out for the Louisiana head coach. Finally, Matt Campbell is the coach Joe Klatt hesitantly predicted on The Herd this week. Campbell has brought Iowa State into the national conversation over the past few years and may have hit his ceiling as the Cyclones head coach. If he takes the LSU job, he would be able to get talent on his roster that he was not able to persuade to come to the Midwest. He's gone 9-3 at Iowa State previously, which could translate to 10-12 wins at LSU. The issue is, Campbell may not fit in at LSU. Zach Reagan from Death Valley Voice writes, "But success at Iowa State doesn't necessarily translate to success at LSU. Campbell has spent almost his entire football career in the Midwest. He has no Southern ties. He has no understanding of the landscape of the SEC. There's no way he's prepared to run a program like LSU. And that's not even the main reason I think the Tigers should stay away from Campbell. The biggest reason LSU needs to stay away from Campbell is because of his corny personality and his lack of killer instinct. Any coach at the Power 5 program should have a goal of winning a conference championship every year. That's apparently not the case for Campbell. There were high expectations for the Cyclones this year, and they failed to meet him, sitting at 6-5 at the time of recording. He is known for doing more with less, though. If LSU were to hire Campbell, it may be the biggest risk of them all, though. 3 other names to consider are Ole Miss's Lane Kiffin, Fox analyst Bob Stoops, and Alabama offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. Rittenberg writes, Kiffin continues to impress at Ole Miss, which outclassed Fisher's Texas A&M team in Week 11. Kiffin has delivered the quarterback development, recruiting buzz, and on-the-field development that Ole Miss wanted. The defense is making strides too. The thing is, if Kiffin leaves Oxford, it would probably be for the Miami or Florida job. If Bob Stoops were a serious choice, he probably would have been announced as head coach already. When it comes to Alabama offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien, he has had success at Penn State during a crazy time period and is a big name, although he is an offensive coordinator. O'Brien's next stop will probably be a major job as well. The thing is, the only people who actually know who LSU is closing in on is Scott Woodward and his inner circle, which keep things tight to their chests. But who do you think will be the next LSU head coach? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, remember to embrace the grind.